Bam. Alright, we're in. Let's cover those. And let us see how this will be played out. I am sure that both teams have done a lot of preparation for this, because this match could be one of the first matches in the tournament to go to 3 games. This might be very close. We got a Nidalee ban. Interesting. I don't recall Nidalee ever being that big of a problem for either team. Okay, Twisted Fate, Jayce. The Ezreal ban right away too. So they must really be targeting Images. Don't want him to get his favorite Ezreal. Images does have a couple other options. There's the Thresh ban. So the LoLdo faction has no intention of first picking him. They might look to first pick Jarvan, I think. Yeah, called it. They are going for a first pick Jarvan. Gonna take that away from VO16, who will most likely be their jungler. I can't really call what the roster lineup is going to be at the moment, but definitely targeted at the jungle. Want to make sure he doesn't get his favorite champion. And it looks like the LoLdo faction is taking the full duration of the picks, not locking in right away, giving themselves more time to discuss strategy. Oh, you're right, the stream does still say that. I don't want to mess with it right now. I'll wait until the delay hits, and then I'll go and I'll edit it. But thank you for telling me. Thank you. As soon as the 3-minute delay kicks in, I'll go and edit it. Ooh, Insta-lock Zac and Insta-lock Sona. Okay. That could be solo top JDK on Zac. It could also be a backup jungle for VO16. We shall see. Okay, and looks like right away, recognizing without Ezreal to pick, Images would most likely fall back onto Caitlyn, so the LoLdo faction selecting Caitlyn, possibly to take that away from him as well. One of his other highly played AD carries. And is also an AD carry that Sato is very comfortable on as well. So the question now is, what is Sniper Worm going to lock in for his team? Will he pick a support? Will he pick a solo laner? Okay, so it is going to be a support, and it is Leona. A very aggressive support. Sona loves to do the initiating and the diving. Works really well with Jarvan. Orianna being highlighted for We Make You Fizz, along with Sejuani. Could very well be Sejuani jungle if that is locked in. I'm not really sure who's going to be playing mid and who's going to be playing support. That is the question. Most likely the mid will be Rysea or Ryze. I don't know how you pronounce that. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. Yeah, and it is going to be Sejuani locked in, so Zac, looks like that will be a top Zac, Sejuani jungle, Sona Vayne, and yeah, showing signs of a lane swap, being the purple team and all. Sneaky Deeves highlighting that tank wick. that frozen fist wick, but nah. Gonna go with something a little different, I think. Now, Soul Siegers has actually had Rise banned from him last set. Clearly his most played champion, but doesn't look like he's gonna go with it. He's gonna stick with his Zyra that has served him very well in the past. Renekton getting locked in with Sneaky Deebs. Had a great game with him against Seven Kingdoms. See if he can continue that. Yeah, and Zyra will be locked in. So now it is up to their last pick for the mid. I don't think it's gonna be mid Garen. What could it be? Fizz? Could be a Fizz. They're thinking about it. Oh, and it is going to be the Fizz. And I was wrong. Trade's immediately going in the opposite direction. So it is going to be Blue Gina on Fizz. And that will most likely be mid Fizz. And okay, there we go. Images on the AD carry as expected. Fainting a possible support role, but I don't think that's how it's going to be. And everything else looks pretty much in order. The general with Jarvan, one of his faves. Sato rocking that AD carry, and Sniper Worm, of course, on the support. And the top and mid picking for themselves. So, looks like everything's squared away. Oh, to frag in the chat, Convale left the team not too long ago. He left about a month ago. Maybe a month and a half ago. Okay, so now that the delay is on, I will take away summoner covers so you can see what everyone's running. Frag, that's another story for another time. Ask me about it later, after the tournament. No point in getting into that. It's a long story. So anyway, we got Cleanse on Vayne, pretty expected against Leona. I'm almost positive though that they will go for the lane swap. Sneaky running teleport, and Caitlyn as well, also running Cleanse for Sejuani, Sona, lots of CC. I'm not sure if you can. I know you can QSS the fish so that it falls off. By the fish, I mean Chum the Waters, Fizz's ultimate. I know you can QSS it so that the fish falls off, and then the ultimate will just like happen wherever it falls. I'm not sure if you can cleanse it though. Okay, so I'm gonna try to see if I can open up a new window. Now I'm gonna try to change the information up top real quick, so excuse me. For those of you that are joining in, this is game 1 between We Make You Fizz and the LoLdo faction. LoLdo faction in the blue, and Make You Fizz is purple. Okay, so that should be successfully updated now. You'll probably have to refresh your window to see the changes, but yeah. You can probably cleanse it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So ticking down to the 25-second waiting for the delay to finish. Should be very, very close, I think. Both teams have a lot of individual skill, and Both teams have shown very good coordination in their matches. Both handily 2-0ing their previous opponents. So one team will take their first loss of the tournament today. We'll see who it is. Frag saying, I told we make you Fizz not to run Fizz. Fizz, Fizz, Fizz. We shall see if Fizz can do the fizzing. Be the little Fizz that he is. Jump around, insta-jib people. It's quite possible that they're picking Fizz because they saw that the LoLdo faction banned Fizz both games in their last encounter with 7 kingdoms. That could be what they're looking for. We shall see. If Blue Gina... It might be just one of Blue Gina's preferred mids. We shall see. Yeah, and we see the LoLdo faction with their matching gold borders. And then once again, well, it's kind of whatever. Zyra only has like 1 skin, so... But they are matching in all those reddish colors, so that's pretty cool. A lot of reddish hue. And we see that Make You Fizz got got 3 skins in there, and I guess 2 new splash arts, so that's kind of cool too. That's true, Frag. It might just be a troll because of the name. It's in the name. You know, what can I say? So we're just waiting on Sona to connect. Now it's loading pretty fast. So the big question now is: will spectator mode behave? Will we miss anything? Hopefully not. I would very much like to see this match played out from the 0-second mark all the way to the end, if possible. Excellent. So we're in the match now. 1 second while I move everyone around real quick so it's easier to see. Okay, and that's it. And we got both teams making a dash out of their base to set up whatever strategies they have. Looks like the LoLdo faction is setting up for a standard defense. Everyone just spreading out to cover the entrances. Not sure what Make You Fizz has in mind. The junglers gonna spot each other. So they know where everybody is. Yep. LoLdo faction pinging them out. Jarvan getting vision with his Demacian standard.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And by the way, shoutouts to Frag. Yes, I do know most of the names of the skills. I don't know all of them though. I'm still working on it. Okay, so it looks like both teams aren't really interested in doing anything crazy at level 1. They're just gonna do their standard. Sejuani will take her blue, like how she is wont to do, and J4 will help himself to his red. Look for the early ganks. Looks like the rates will be taken by Fizz and Zac. Help them get whatever experience and gold advantage that they can get. Golem's taken by the blue team. And from the way it's set up, it doesn't look like they're going to do the lane swap. They're just going to play it standard 2v2. So that is a big advantage for the blue team. Let's see if they could take advantage of the fact that they will have the laning advantage, both matchup-wise and experience-wise. Caitlyn already going to push the lane ahead of Leona. And Leona sticking behind to help with the pull. And J4 will get a nice smiteless on his red, so he will head straight to his other buff to scoop that up. Sejuani also getting a very nice smiteless, so good coordination by the team. Really helping out the junglers. Top lane should be a very interesting battle out between Sneaky Deebs and JDK. Both pretty matched, I think. So maybe a slight advantage to Sneaky, we shall see. J4 showing mid pretty early. Fizz forced to E out. No problem though. He should be fine. And there you see there Sneaky trying to step on those little jello blobs because Zac can heal himself by picking them up, but if you step on them first then they will disappear. And we already see Sejuani going for a really early gank. Sneaky does not have vision of it, so it is possible that he could die or at least pop his ghost. Sejuani being very patient. And it looks like Sejuani's going for it. Ghost is immediately popped. Slice and dice. Oh, he actually Sneaky gets cut off. This is really bad. He has to stall for Jarvan. And I'm gonna quickly go to directed camera up top. Sneaky does manage to escape, and luckily the general was able to make it, so the gank, it was neutralized. Good break for Sneaky right there. And blue team has wasted no time in shoving up bot since they know the jungler is very far from them. Gonna try to get as much harass under tower as they can, force Vayne to miss CS. CSing under tower with all that pressure, not the easiest thing in the world, so. Already we could see that Sato has moved up to a 5 creep advantage. Oh, that's first blood, 100%. And for the third time in a row, Soul Seizures giving up first blood in their games. Not a good start. Yeah, and the general calling it in all chat. 3 for 3. Raisin is... not Raisin. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard to not call them by their real names because obviously I know all these people outside of League, but Soul Seizures, 3 for 3 and giving up first blood. Not a good start at all. We shall see if he can recover from that. He did blow flash as well, so yeah. Up top, Sneaky doing a good job of trading with Zac, keeping everything even. The item count is even as well. So, sustain-wise, I think Renekton should have the advantage. Nice pilt over Peacemaker. Get some harass down. And Sato not missing any CS. Playing very well right now. Has extended the lead 38 to 22. See if Vayne can make some of it up under tower. So after that kill, Fizz will return to lane with a Doran's Ring and an Amp Tome. Doran's Ring's very, very useful. Doran's items in general very useful early. It's a really good way to help snowball a lane when you get early kills. And Soul Seizer's getting caught out again. Manages to peel off Sejuani, but loses a lot of health. It's gonna make Fizz's job a lot easier to insta-jib him, especially once his Ignite comes back up. He already has Flash, so that is going to be very bad for their mid. Zenith Blade just misses right there. Unfortunate. And yep, sure enough, Sejuani content to just camp out the mid. Knows that once the lane is behind, it's a really good idea to just sit on it and just crush it into the ground. But Soul Seizure's playing pretty far back, decides to head up top instead to cover the top lane. That should be a warning though that Zac is no longer there and could very well make his presence felt elsewhere. Zac, with that E, can come from multiple directions deep within the fog of war, so they need to be careful. Mimikyu Fizz might be looking to bait a dive, I think. Or at the very least, that's not exactly the gank that I envisioned. Does force a lot of summoners though. And they do pick up the kill, but a nice retaliation by Sato. Ult goes down for Fizz, not going to be enough to get the kill. The general does show up bottom, a little too late to pick up anything though. So yeah, while that was happening, that gives Sneaky a lot of alone time with the top tower and the top lane, so Sneaky's CS advantage has ballooned to 53 to 40 now. Nonetheless, they did get the kill, and it did go to Vayne, and they did force a lot of summoners, so maybe they'll try to continue doing that. If they do it again, there will definitely be more deaths. And Sato continuing to get farmed up, now 63 to 40. Big CS lead. Sato has not gone back to shop yet also, so we shall see what he picks up. And it looks like Sniper Worm is doing some deep warding. Looks like they might be trying to make a play on the blue, and they are. This will be a uncontested blue. Mimikyu Fizz is nowhere in position for this. The general can just smite that whenever he wants. Yep, nice and easy. Didn't even have vision on it. So, good counter jungling right there. Big resource loss for Fizz. And Sejuani is back mid again, and there are no wards on that side of the map, so Soul Seizures is a little blind. But meanwhile, in the bottom, Crescendo is popped. Cataclysm comes down. Successful gank. And that is a emphatic double kill. Well played. And a good timely gank by the general. And yes, because they saw that gank bottom, they make a play on the blue. It goes to Sejuani. I mean, it's not good, obviously, to lose the blue, but at least it didn't go to the enemy mid. And because they already stole the blue previously, it just evens it out, pretty much. And with that, it looks like bottom turret will go down. First turret of the game in favor of the LoLdo faction. So very well done. Ooh. Sneaky with those Renekton combos. He's gonna spin again. Yep. Keeping the trades as even as possible. Stepping on those little jelly things. Mid lane, Soul Seizure's continuing to get harassed by Fizz. Seems to be holding on, not too bad, 51 to 61, but that Sheen now in the hands of Fizz could spell trouble. Obviously looking for an early Lich Bane. Mimikyu Fizz's bottom, forced to kind of just freeze the wave and just wait it out. Vayne is behind right now in kills and in farm, so he's gonna want to just slow the pace down and just let the gold come in safely as possible. As we pass the 11-minute mark, it is 3-2 in favor of the LoLdo faction on the blue versus Mimikyu Fizz in the purple. The gold count is still pretty even, but a big catch right there. Sona caught in the wrong part of her jungle. And free kill. And that is going to mean an emphatic dragon. They are going to try to fight this. Leona ult is down, so they could conceivably contest this. I don't know how well this is going to work out, though. The dragon is getting low. Purple team actually smites it away. Oh no. They get the kill, but the global gold from the dragon, very much worth it. Oh my. Something you don't want to see happening. You have a man advantage at dragon and then it gets smited away from you. Unfortunate. So because of that, the gold advantage is still pretty close. But LoLdo faction pressing the issue hard on this mid turret. And they're looking to take it. Fizz going in, but no, not going to be nearly enough to chase for kills. Sato down on the bottom, pushing it up, getting more free farm. Already sitting on 1400 gold. Probably going to farm up a little bit more before heading back. A lot of people grouping in mid. Laning phase kind of over now. We'll see what happens. Still haven't seen any teleports from Sneaky. He's been kind of content to just stay up top and just keep Zac in control. Yeah, and with Caitlyn's long range, they will take that easy peasy. It's a big tower to go down for the purple team. A lot of map control lost now in that area. And it looks like they are all 5 immediately swinging to the top lane. They are pinging... I don't know what... Oh, yeah, they're just probably pinging the team to get up there because they know what's coming. Vayne is not with them though, so I don't know if they want to full-on engage this. Not with all 5 of them there. Vayne has no teleport or anything to get there, so... Zac going in at half-life, Fizz also going in. The General gets a nice Cataclysm down, trapping a lot of the people. Fizz goes down real quick. The rest of We Make You Fizz forced to scatter. Sona is a dead support. And Sneaky is on the chase.
Purple team's turret has been
And is just zoning them off the turret, so they just have to run. Vayne, meanwhile, needs to get this tower. Vayne needs to get at least the bottom turret, because LoLdo faction is going to keep on pushing. Best believe. They recognize that there are still 2 dead. And Sneaky using his teleport to save the turret. Actually, I'm going to go down bottom and see what's going on over there. And he is able to force Vayne out the tower. Vayne actually not even able to get it below half.
has been destroyed.
So yeah, Vayne didn't really get much out of that in terms of objectives. She did get a lot of free farm, and she's still quite a ways behind. Sato getting caught out a little bit. He does have cleanse up. We'll see what they decide to do. It looks like Sniperworm's just gonna sacrifice himself. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think We Make You Fizz wants to force too hard here. They have... Sejuani ult will be up soon. Zac ult is still down. Chum the Waters is almost up, though. We shall see what they decide to do. But if they keep clearing the waves like this, I don't think they can conceivably siege this, yeah. So they're just gonna back away for a little bit. Wait for a more opportune time. Approaching the 15:45 minute mark. The score is 7-4, and a small lead for the LoLdo faction. 23.5k up on 19.3. Looking at the items, Vayne is desperately trying to finish her Blade of the Ruined King. Sato finishing his 16-minute Infinity Edge. Very big power spike for him right now. And supports mirroring each other pretty much with the wards and the sight stones. Nothing really much to say about that. Both tops with a Sunfire Cape now. And it looks like Sneaky is working on either a Lizard Elder or something of that effect. For the junglers, though, Jarvan content to sit on the Madrids. And Spirit of the Golem completed on Sejuani. And Fizz looks like he's getting closer to finishing his Lichbane. Very much starved in terms of CS though. 80 CS at 16 minutes into the game, not the greatest of CSs. The only people that are CSing pretty alright, I think, is Sneaky and the 280 carries. But I can't really blame them with all the fighting that's been going on. Okay, so right now we got we make you Fizz kind of sniffing around the dragon. They probably want to make sure that they get it. They ping out Sato right there. Pretty sure they know that he's there for sure. And Sato can see that they're kind of moving towards him, so he'll back up. Teleport on Renekton is still down, but everything else is up for him, so if he is there to contest the dragon, that will be a very good look for them. Vayne's still continuing to try to farm up and to get big. Images knows that if there's a comeback to be had here, he needs to carry. A lot of pressure on him right now to do well. And we make you Fizz sitting on a ward. Definitely warded, so LoLdo faction knows exactly where they are. Obviously trying to bait them into jumping into the happy birthday bush, but not gonna be happening, I think. The dragon has respawned, so we're gonna see a dragon dance. This could, whoever comes out on top of this could very well decide the flow of this game. Could be a big momentum swing either way if a lot of people go down. We make you Fizz very hesitant. They do have a lot of hard initiate though. They have Zac, they have Sejuani, and they have Sona Flash ulti. Although I'm sure that they want to wait till after the initial engage to use Sona ulti if possible. And at the moment, the lanes are more or less pushing in the favor of the LoLdo faction. Top and mid are pushing pretty hard. J4 does go in. Renekton also jumping in. Tons of damage coming out from the Renekton ult. Fizz is exhausted, goes down very quickly, and big cleanup right there from Sato. Tried to getting all the little blobs. Can he get them in time? Yes! Gets the last one just as he was about to respawn. And Images being the only one left. Didn't even blow cleanse though, but he will have to peace out. So that is a big gold swing in favor of the LoLdo faction. Now soon to be up 29k to 23 with this dragon. Lots of gold going to the LoLdo faction now. Okay, so in the aftermath of that, we see that Venus finally finishes her Blade of the Ruined King. She's gonna need a lot more than that, though, at this point, I think. Renekton getting pretty big, J4 getting pretty big, 5 and 4. Real terror. And Sneaky hasn't had one of his games, one of the same games as last time, but still quite a presence. We Make You Fizz is doing their best though to try to respond. They are gonna get this mid turret, but it's gonna cost a lot of tank. Yeah, Sejuani actually tanked that for like over half her life. But it's good that they did get that. So the first turret of the game going to We Make You Fizz, the outer middle. We'll see what the LoLdo faction response is, because now they know that people are recalling, so they might just try to counter push the inner mid at this point. Sejuani ult is almost up. Fizz's ult is now up as well. Crescendo, very close to being up. Okay. Round 2, We Make You Fizz going in. Gets a pretty good catch. Sato trying to kite Fizz out. Vayne in a pretty good position though. And yeah, it looks like We Make You Fizz might be coming out on top here. But nonetheless, they are running. They're not gonna try to fully chase on that. So 2 for 2, but Vayne's still alive, so that's all that matters for We Make You Fizz. So long as Vayne can stay alive, they have a chance. And that's going to be really hard for Sato. If he wants to stay alive in fights, they're going to have to do something about Fizz. Because Fizz is going to dive straight for him every fight. Oh, Images finds Sneaky. And I think he can probably catch this. He does not have his ghost up. Oh, okay, never mind. Sniper Worm there to save him. Does Renekton have ult? No, he does not. So Sniper Worm's gonna go down here. Sacrificing his life for Sneaky. Like a valiant support. Taking the bullet for his team. So yeah, this game still pretty close. That's some much needed gold for Vayne, I think. And the LoLdo faction can't let this lead sit for too long because Vayne is starting to catch up. It looks like though she's not going for IE. It looks like she's just going for more attack speed. So going for the Phantom Dancer, Blade of the Ruined King combination. And we see here VO16 and Images trying to push up on this bottom turret. They're not going to stick around though to hit the turret. They want to make sure that they don't get collapsed on from behind. They have no vision in the river, so that turret will still stay alive. And looks like Fizz is going back to buy. He should have his Lich Bane by now. He could be going for an Abyssal Scepter at this point though. I think that might also be a possibility. Oh, Fizz stopped his recall because he saw that people were coming up mid. So he's gonna have to stay for a little bit to clear that. And it looks like Zyra has picked up her Seeker's Arm Guard. Gonna be looking for that Zhonya's Hourglass. Should prove very helpful against the assassin of Fizz. It's gonna help to negate his combo. Jarvan getting caught out a little bit, forcing a fight. Big initiation before we make you Fizz. LoLdo faction is not in a good spot right now. They have no tower to save them. Fizz is still dangerously low though, and Sneaky will go down. But Sato's still alive. But Fizz with the all-ins right there. Ooh, can Sniper Worm get this? No, Sona with the double buffs. I don't think there's anything he can do. Yeah, Sona gets the kill. So yeah, that was really big. The reason that fight went so well for Make You Fizz was because they actually got a pretty good initiate. The Crescendo went off well, and they got a 3-man stun on Sejuani's ultimate. So yeah, they could very well still turn this around. The gold lead is only about 5k, very much still within We Make You Fizz's grasp. Okay, taking a look at the items. Sona has her locket now, of course sitting on the red Sightstone. Leona has Twin Shadows, along with the Sightstone, Boots of Lucidity. Vayne almost up to her Phantom Dancer. And it looks like Fizz could be going for a death cap now. He has opted for the needlessly large rod. More damage is good damage. And Zyra very close to finishing Zhonya's, about 500-600 gold away from that. And we have the workings of a Bulwark on Sejuani. That's going to be really good for them as well. Zac getting pretty tanky. He has the Visage Sunfire combo. And looks like Randuin's in the works for Renekton. Kill count much closer now, 17 to 14. The towers though are still 4 to 1 in favor of the LoLdo faction. But yeah, this is very much this is still pretty even. It can go either way. Those big initiates with the AoE CC could make or break this game for them. And then of course you have the hyper carry that is Vayne. Okay, yeah, and Death Cap does come out for Fizz. They need to be aware of that. And a lot of attack speed now for Vayne. So a very tense moment for both teams. The next team fight could be very telling as what the flow of the match will be like from here on out as we approach the 27-minute mark. Game 1 in the League of Legends Hawaii Summer League. Okay, so look, both teams really scrapping for a fight right now. I think they want to do something. Okay, a little harass goes down the Vayne with the ace in the hole. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. Sejuani does get caught out pretty badly, forcing a fight. Sato getting jumped on by 2 people immediately. But he does stay alive. He has nothing to lifesteal though. So he does go down to the heal debuff / ignite. And yeah. And Vayne will finish this off. Best believe. Yeah, quadra kill for images. Yeah. They caught Sejuani out, but that really wasn't that big of a deal, I think. I mean, you just saw what happened. Zac and Fizz just dove so hard for Caitlyn. And they just didn't have enough peel to keep her alive. So yeah, if things keep going this way, We Make You Fizz will probably come back from this. They just have Vayne just had all the positioning, made all the right decisions. Alright, so looking at the aftermath of that, Zhonya's Hourglass now acquired for Zyra. And very wisely, Caitlyn picking up a QSS, Quicksilver Sash. Wants to make sure that she gets rid of the fish that will inevitably be tossed at her. And yeah, looking very rough for the blue team right now, despite the fact that they are ahead slightly and have been dictating the pace for a good portion of the game. Vayne just basically got fed through free farm and is now getting fed through team fight, so the advantage has definitely shifted to the purple team. With a super tanky front line in Zac and Sejuani, it's just allowing Fizz to do whatever he pleases, and it's giving Images all the room he needs to take everybody out. Okay, so there were no base turrets taken out, but the mid inner was taken down after that fight, and it looks like they're now focusing their attention on the Baron, clearing that out. Sejuani does have an Oracles, will be sniffing out any wards over there, but the LoLdo faction very aware. The question now is whether Sato will choose to farm that bottom lane. Doesn't look like he's gonna. He's just gonna let that push up to the tower. Knows that he can ill afford to not be there for a fight. And because of that Oracles, they are now LoLdo faction now blind and Baron, so very, very dangerous. And Make You Fizz is definitely posting up for a happy birthday. And they come rushing out, get the jump on everybody. Vayne's ult gets popped, Jarvan dives straight for him, Sneaky trying his best to kill him as well, but Vayne, too much lifesteal, too much attack speed, just too late game for them at this point. And Vayne just peels them off, no problem. Fizz getting a nice double kill, and yeah, that is late game Vayne in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. That is a free Baron and an ace, first ace of the game, I believe. Things looking very dire now for the LoLdo faction. Honestly, that wasn't even the cleanest of engages for We Make You Fizz, but because they were so tanky, it didn't even really matter. Then when you have that much AoE CC, it's kind of hard to miss all that. And with this, that's gonna put the brakes on the LoLdo faction. They can no longer run around as they please. They're just gonna have to sit back and watch all their turrets fall.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah. So I actually thought that they might try to make a play on the top inner, but it looks like they just want to spend their gold. Lichbane coming out now for Fizz, and extra oracles from Sona for whenever Sejuani's... Well, since Sejuani lost hers in the last fight, I actually forgot that she had an oracle. So yeah, the big question now is going to be what is the LoLdo faction going to do to respond to this? It's very difficult to come back from momentum like this, especially when you had the lead early mid game, and then just now you just have to deal with the late game of the other team. It's very difficult. We make you Fizz helping themselves with the dragon, not really necessary at this point. They already are in the lead, and I honestly wouldn't have bothered wasting the Baron buff on dragon, but they've pinged out the inner turrets still remaining, and they're gonna stomp those down, no problem. Vayne's still in the mid, keeping that pushed up, just making sure. And a lot of deep wards from the purple team now in the LoLdo faction's bottom jungle, so they have to move with extreme caution, lest they get caught out again and potentially lose an inhibitor. LoLdo faction wisely taking the long way, not going through the jungle. Do not want to get caught at this stage. And it looks like Sato might have his last whisper now. Yeah, he does. So he goes back for that. That will... Any major items are a bonus at this point, but honestly, I feel like Make You Fizz could potentially siege this. We Make You Fizz can't get too cocky though. They can't get too comfortable. They have Baron buff and they have Fed Vayne, but it's still definitely throwable. This is the League of Throws after all. Yeah, and LoLdo faction is kind of just stuck in their base for the time being. Still waiting out the Baron buff, turtling up, and they're gonna lose their blue buff. Nothing they can really do about it. Better than losing one of their teammates. And it looks like We Make You Fizz has their sights set on the top inner. The minion wave is still kind of far though, so... And Baron buff is less than a quarter till done, so... Honestly, if I were the LoLdo faction, I would probably concede this turret and just wait out the Baron buff. Because if they fight them now with the Baron buff on, it will almost certainly be a lost fight for them. Yeah, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna let the last inner turret go down and just try to fight at their base. The question now is how the initiate's gonna go for We Make You Fizz. So far they've had pretty successful initiations, getting everything off and getting the dive successfully on the 80 carry. So we'll see how they handle it under the base turrets. So again, approaching the 36-minute mark, the score is now 21-24 in favor of We Make You Fizz, and the 5k gold lead that was once in the hands of the LoLdo faction has been reversed to We Make You Fizz. The tides of late game Vayne. Images really putting in work, and that is exactly what We Make You Fizz needed in order to win. So if they keep this up, game 1 will most certainly be theirs. But like I said, they can't get too overconfident. Death timers are starting to get pretty long, and item builds are starting to become finished. Most of the players in this game now have at least 3 major items, some 4 major items, so we shall see. Okay, so Baron buff has finally worn off for the purple team. LoLdo faction now pushing out a little bit now. They could maybe try to win a fight, but looking at the levels, you have level 14 Jarvan, level 13 Leona versus the level 16 Sona, level 16 Sejuani. The level difference does mean a lot, I think. Having a level 3 ult on Sona, very big. And it looks like they're going to try to do the same thing that they did last time. Just post up near Baron, blind them of vision, scout someone out, and try to jump on them. The general does get pinged out quite heavily as We Make You Fizz looks to move forward. Honestly, if they fight in this choke point, LoLdo faction might be done. If they get caught in a choke point where all the AoE is an insta-hit, that is very bad. And looking at Vayne, oh man, with that frozen mallet for ultimate sticking power. And with the red buff on top of it, just because. And yeah, it looks like We Make You Fizz is quite content to just post up in this. And of course they have to face check it eventually. There goes the dive. Zyra, not long for this world. Sato completely zoned out of the fight. Vayne more than capable of handling the front line by herself with Sona's assistance. And that is most certainly the game. I cannot imagine why they wouldn't want to end the game now. 40-second death timers. This is a free inhibitor. But no, they're not. They could have got a free inhibitor, but instead they're going for the Baron. I don't really like that. I think they should just take the inhibitor. And then they could always just go back for the Baron afterwards, but to each his own. If the jungler calls it, it's better to just listen up, not argue. Because to me it looked like Images wanted the inhibitor, but the rest of his team looked like they wanted Baron. So that is the second Baron in a row for We Make You Fizz. They are in a very strong position now. The fact that the front line cannot do anything to threaten Vayne at this point pretty much kills any chance they have of a comeback. The only way they're going to get to her now is if they catch her in like a 5v1, but even then, that's going to be very, very unlikely. Vayne most likely will not be wandering off on her own at this point. And you can see that JDK feeling very confident, just jumping into them for no reason. Just a little booga booga booga, and walks away. Yeah, right now the LoLdo faction can't really do much but just post up in their base and just wait for the inevitable 5-man down middle. Or they might not wait, they might just go now. Let's Bounce comes out. Zac is... wow, Zac's really big. The shark goes down. Blue Gina's gonna get insta-jib, but that's not really a big deal. Blue team is melting like butter. Sato is most definitely dead, and that is an ace. Another quadra kill for Images, making it look easy. And that is most definitely going to be game one. Going to We Make You Fizz. They just got to that late game. Vayne just got so fed to the point where nobody could dive her or pose any threat to her. GG's being called out. And We Make You Fizz will go up 1-0 in this best of 3. And we will move on to game 2.